This is my 2009 BMW E90 M3. Today we're going to be installing a Dinan cold air intake. We're going to start by popping your hood, locating your air box. Next up, we're going to get the tools that we need ready. 6mm, 8mm, and 10mm nut drivers, or a ratchet with 10mm with the sockets in there, a flathead screwdriver, and a T25 Torx bit. Next, we're going to loosen everything up. First, we're going to come over to the secondary pump hose, squeeze, pinch, top of the bottom, move it to the side. And we're going to grab our 6mm socket. We're going to loosen up the original clamp. Now that's nice and loose. Put that to the side. We're going to get the 8mm. We're going to loosen up this side. Now that that's loose, we're going to grab the 10. We're going to take out the bolts for the air box. Loosen it up. Take the bolts out from someplace safe. We're going to take our T25 and we're going to loosen up all these screws. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 that we have to loosen up. So we're going to need a T20 to take out the front. These front screws here. And we're going to remove this front scoop. Now we should be able to take out the airbox lid. There we go. Now we take a look at our dirty filter. So this is a good time to take your filter out. Either clean it or just dust it off, blow it out. Now we got the air filter removed, and we're going to take this piece out, this connector, put it over to the side. It's a good time to clean it. Finally, we're going to take out the original air tube, original elbow. Next, we're going to start putting together the intake onto the original plenum. I don't have instructions with this, being that I bought it secondhand, so I'm going to take this and throw it on the plenum. Now that we have the first boot on, it's time to install this into the boot. Keep your clamps nice and loose so we can allow for final adjustments. Now that we have the intake elbow on, finish tightening this up. Leave this one loose for final adjustments. Now we're going to take our air filter adapter, and it's going to just slide in here. I am missing a clamp. I don't know what happened to it. The seller never gave it to me. So for now, I'm just going to put the adapter on, slide it in, and I'll add the clamp later. Okay, so what I learned, your clamps need to be tightened and untightened, tighten, untighten a bunch of times, or else this guy's gonna start slipping out and you'll wind up getting frustrated. Just make them semi-tight, tighten them, loosen them as you need them to make adjustments. This is where I'm at now before I tighten everything down completely. I also learned that your 2 bolts that hold the bottom box you do not need to take out. So at this time, you can go ahead and get your secondary air pump hose back in. Click it in, and you're in just like that. With this, I need the second clamp here, which I will be getting one. And lastly, I'm going to put the filter and the box back on. So my filter needs a good cleaning. Next warm day we have here, clean it out with some filter cleaner. And anyway, to get the filter back in, some of these cars, from what I understand, have this little bump in. It's like a little piston. You gotta push the filter in this way and then slam it in here. After that, we're gonna throw our airbox lid back on. Make sure it's even. Just like this. Make sure nothing's in the way, no wires, no hoses are getting pinched. And now we're just going to simply tighten them down. I don't like to do one at a time. I like to get a few started. Opposite corners. Probably don't have to, but just the way I like to do it. It's actually 8 screws. I just found out, as I am missing one here, so it's actually 8. It's the first time I took the airbox out to see what's going on in here since I've purchased the car. So all my screws are in, minus the one that I'm missing. I will try to get another one. Now we're going to go ahead and take our nut drivers or sockets, whatever you want to use. Just tighten them down, snug them up good, don't overdo it, as you may cause a problem cracking the intake tube. Alright, 1, 2, 3 clamps are tightened. Once again, I have to get another clamp, stick it in here. Not a big deal, I'm not using the car. And we're going to take our scoop, put it in, line it up as best you can, push it on, and it's that simple. We'll take our 2 T25 torx screws, actually these are T20, the airbox are T25, so that this one is tightened. I'm going to throw this screw in too. Don't overdo it. It's all plastic. You don't want to start messing up your threads. So we're just double checking our work. These 2 screws are done. Nice and tight. This elbow is onto the airbox lid. All these screws should be on. Right now mine is 7, but you should have 8. I double checked them. Now we're just going to double check our clamps once again. It's the 8mm. And then we have our 6mm or flathead, whatever you want to use. Just double checking them. And double checking the secondary air pump. I could leave mine out if I want and plug it, as mine is coated out. Next, we're just going to make sure, finally, we're going to make sure we don't have anything left in here. No tools. Take everything out. Now that we just double checked everything is taken out, all of the tools, we're not missing anything, nothing can hinder us from starting the car, driving it, and also shutting the hood. Also, in case anybody's wondering, over here I have a magnetic trickle charger. When the car's not, or when the car's being used, I just unplug it, put the cap on, shut the hood, and you don't see anything. Now we're just going to give a wipe to everything that we touch. Try to keep everything somewhat clean. Just a little bit of window cleaner. Try to keep the car nice and clean as much as possible. Take care of your car and it will take care of you. Thanks for watching. A simple DIY. Any questions? Just leave a comment down below.